Howdy, howdy, friends and neighbors. How are we doing today? Hope we're doing good. It's a nice, beautiful day. Hey, what happened to the whiskers, man? Oh, I don't know. I decided to take them off, and I did. I took on a nice clean shave, I did. So, guess what? I had to get out last night. It's about 25 degrees, and as soon as I stepped out, oh my goodness. I must have had them whiskers for a while. And then I realized, well, it's like having a little small furry rodent sleeping under your chin because it's all nice and warm and toasty. And I hadn't felt any cold air on my face all winter so far. And we've been down, in the lower 20s several times, and I've been out doing different things. So, needless to say, I missed it right away. But I decided to take it off of there. So, let it grow back out again. Was kind of regretting it, let me tell you that. But I was just sitting and thinking. I was driving, and I thought, well, hey, while you're driving, why don't you shoot a video and talk a little bit about a couple of the other videos you did. I did one and a little follow-up on some touch hole stuff, and maybe how to get a stuck ball out of your musket by taking one of them needles that you get with your air compressor, and to air up soccer balls and basketballs and stuff like that. Take that and put that in the touch hole, and then pressurize that barrel and get it out of there. I'd tried it, but I don't see why, if you can put 40-60 pounds of pressure in a tire, that why it's not going to start moving that blocked obstacle on out of there. I don't see why it wouldn't. I need to test it and find out, but I'm not going to go jam up my musket just so I can test it to see if I can get the ball out. Needless to say, we was doing some touch hole stuff, and I know the recommended touch hole size is about a 16th. And it's claimed that the smaller the touch hole, the higher the pressure is inside the musket barrel, and the more accurate that it is. I don't know anything about that for sure. That's something that I've never even tried to put a test to. I mean, I just try to hit the target. That's all I'm doing. That's fun for me. I'm not doing any precision shooting or nothing like that, but that's what they claim. And my touch holes are a little bit bigger, and I'm trying to remember what size that drill bit was that I was using. But anyway, I took that needle for the to air up your basketballs and soccer balls and stuff, and I thought I'd just take it, and I got Pedersoli's Charlottesville. Wow, I'm full of a lot, ain't I? Yeah, I'm trying to get my thoughts together. I'm pretty tired right now. That's probably not helping any. But the Charlottesville Pedersoli, it came all ready to go. You didn't have to drill no holes in it. You didn't have to do nothing. So I took that. I thought, man, I wonder if the Pedersoli got jammed up, if you could take that basketball and soccer ball needle and stick it in the touch hole and blow the air out of it. Who knows? I don't know. We'd have to see if it fits in there first. So I went over there and tried it. And that there needle for the soccer ball, it is a snug fit in that Pedersoli touch hole. It fits that thing like it was the bit that drilled the hole. I mean, it is snug in there. It slides right in. There's no wobble or nothing. It's a fine fit right into the touch hole on the Pedersoli. And that comes from the factory. With mine, you put it in there, and it's got a little wobble to it, but not very much. Just a little wobble, because my touch hole's a little bit bigger apparently, but not much. Not enough to really have any concerns about. So I know I had a Hawkins pistol that I bought. I got a good price on it, and it needed a couple things. It didn't have no butt plate, it didn't have no front sight, it didn't have no ramrod. So I ordered a ramrod for it, and it's too short. But it's a nice ramrod, and I just use my 54 caliber ball starter instead when I shoot that. instead of the ramrod, because it's not long enough, but it fits in it and everything, and it was supposed to be for one of those, but it must be a shorter model. I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, and I got a front sight on eBay. I was able to order a front sight on eBay. And I didn't know about that staying on there, and a friend of mine told me to use some fingernail polish on it, and I did. So, yep, it stays right on there now. Then, it needed a butt plate. Now, what's the odds of finding a butt plate for one of them things on eBay or somewhere? But guess what? One came up, and I got it. So, I put that on there, and I put a couple of them little brass caps on the top of it. And on the other guns, I put them brass caps on there, and I was afraid they'd come off and I'd lose them, because they only crank on there just like a turn. They're threaded, and it's just like a half a turn or something, and they're on there. So I put a little fingernail polish on there, and I noticed one of my had a little dent in my brass. And I thought, well, I might be able to take that out of there and make it fit a little more even than what it does. But I couldn't get that stupid cap off of there. I didn't want to mess it all up. It's not really worth, taking and messing up. I suppose I could get a hold with some pliers or whatever. But I don't know. I expect if I put some duct tape around it or something, and the way I can get a little pair of pliers to grip a hold of it and turn it, I imagine either the whole screw will come out with the cap or it'll break loose, and then I'll be able to get it out. But like I said, it's not that big a deal. It's just one of them little cosmetic dumb things that I never noticed, or I bumped it into something and put a little ding there. But it's possible. Sometimes you when you're loading and stuff, talking and whatever, you can set it down. And needless to say, it's not that big a deal. It's not a game changer. Right? So I decided I'd do a little talking and driving, and there's a lot of traffic around and stuff, so I'm trying to be extra careful. I don't want to wind up in a mess. Nobody wants to get in a mess, right? I certainly don't. Try to keep my eyes peeled on all these people driving on the road. So in case there's a bunch of texters and stuff like that. And man, I'll tell you, you can't be too safe in the world. There's one thing you shouldn't do, and I hate to bring this up because, well, I am keeping my eyes on the road, and I'm not looking at the phone. If I glance over that way, I can do it and still be able to see everything that I need to see. So should I be talking on the phone and everything? Well, I suppose it's no different than hands-free on your phone at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. But folks, I'm telling you, you got to pay attention when you're driving so you don't get in a mess. That's for sure. Because a lot of times you get the lights and everything, people are sitting still, and then you look over and they're on their phones texting and doing all kinds of stuff, and it's just a recipe for problems. Reminds me of that movie Final Destination. When I start seeing all that stuff around me, I'm like, oh my goodness, there's a guy that wants over, and he's going to stop everybody in order to do it, which is a good way to get me rear-ended, because I'm paying attention. But the guy behind me, if he was texting and doing exactly what I just said he was doing, whammo, hit me right in the hind end. So, and I don't really relish the testing of Jehovah God in Heaven's shield of protection on the back of my truck anymore. One test for that was too many. I can tell you that right now. So, gotta make sure nobody's around us and we can get home safely. I'll go home and maybe I'll make some coffee or something, and I'll have to let the dogs out. It's 44 degrees out right now, so it's pretty nice. And I most likely won't have the energy to go out and do anything, but yeah, I just probably won't. Like to go out and crack off some powder, but it's one of them days when it's like, you're running out of good days to go do it, dude. But I would like to be refreshed and feeling good and not run down to where I'm making stupid mistakes, because that's when you can get hurt doing something stupid, So I try not to do anything like that. I used to do stuff when I was really tired, and then I wind up injuring myself. So I wait till I get some rest and I'm feeling good, and I've got confidence that I can get it done without any issues. So that's the main thing. But it's a beautiful day out, really nice. I've watched some good videos and stuff on flintlocks, muskets, and different things, and some other educational stuff, a little bit of history, different things. Got the fella that I watched, his name, I assume, since it's in the title, his name's Tom, and he was talking about people subscribing, and then I guess he ate a game hen, or something, and showed you how to cook it and whatever, and he lost some subscribers on his channel, which is your audience, and people watching stuff, and people come and go. They subscribe and unsubscribe on that stuff on YouTube, but you never know when a good video is going to come out, or something you might learn from. So I don't know, I just try to enjoy myself as much as I can, sitting around the house and having some coffee. And I know what history stuff I was watching was it was on Frontier Patriot, and they was drinking different teas and giving you the history on the Boston Tea Party. I guess it's the 250th anniversary of the Boston Tea Party. I didn't even know it until I ran across them guys. So it was pretty fun to watch. I enjoyed it. I guess the tea wasn't the tea. They had like a tea where they had 10 cases, and another brand of tea there was 15, and there was another tea that had like a couple hundred cases, maybe 250, something like that, that they all throwed overboard in the tea party. And well, I don't want to ruin the video for you, but it's pretty good. I enjoyed it. They'll tell you about it, so you can enjoy it. But yeah, there's some really good folks on YouTube. I always appreciate YouTube and the people that share information and everything with me to help me out. Like if I need something and I got to hook something up, or I got something I got to do, it's like, man, I have no clue how to fix that. I don't know nothing about it. I can't even get the screws out, because they're like them hidden ones. You go on YouTube, look up a video, they show you a step-by-step how to go through it. And man, I'll tell you what, it's been a blessing. I don't know how many, you can't even count how many times I've been blessed with people helping me out on YouTube. So if I come across something, I will try to help other people out as well. You got to have a warm heart, and to want to help people and give them a hand. It's highly appreciated, highly appreciated. I just like to thank all the folks out there that's doing that, the folks that showed us how to do our touch holes and make some black powder, and how to clean our muskets and how to load them, and all that kind of stuff. All you folks out there that's enjoying that. I think maybe some new folks are picking up the hobby right now, wanting to get into it, do some flintlock shooting and enjoy theirself and everything. I've noticed that one of the things with the flint is a lot of times it don't need napped so much as it needs moved a little bit, and that's all it takes sometimes to get her sparking again. You just move it a little, because once you nap it, you lose some surface, and then I don't know how many naps you can get out of one before it's pretty much a problem, because you got to learn how to nap flint. And flint lays in layers, and you can flake it off the bottom and you can flake it off the top, but that's what it comes off in, is flakes. So you want to be sure that if you're napping your flint, that you're using something nice and soft, like brass, or I like copper, but copper really gets messed up when you use it, because it's way softer than what the flint is. So it messes it all up for you, as it does. But it's a lot of fun. And I napped, I don't know, I wouldn't even call it napping. I took 4 or 5 pieces of flint and pretty much destroyed them and threw them in the trash till I realized that if I have to start a fire by emergency, I might need that old piece of flint, what's left of it. Because the more I tried to sharpen them or get anything going with them, the worse I made them as far as dull goes. They just weren't any good. And we've done some testing, and I've always seen a good flash from the agate stones that Traditions has. So, those are always an option. That you don't have to have unless you want to be more historical and get a nice piece of flint that looks like they would have used back in the 18th century. You can do that. Makes your gun look a little better for looks, but nothing wrong with them agate stones, really. I don't know if I tried to nap one of those or not. If I did, my experience was so bad that I just kind of blowed it apart and ended up pitching it. So, but I'm not too sure how you get agate stones and stuff like that. They might be out in your driveway, who knows. I know the river's full of flint. There's big old flint rocks in the river, and you can get them, and then you can crack them open, and if you know how to nap flint, you can nap you some flints. But they say the flint that's been out on the surface, where in cold weather, especially where it's frozen, is real brittle. It doesn't make really good flint for arrowheads or anything else. So I'm going to assume if it don't make good flint for arrowheads or spearheads and stuff like that, it's not going to make really good flints for your gun either. It's got some kind of brittle issues or something like that. Don't quote me on that. Research it for yourself and say, oh, Ed, hey, yeah, you was right about that, or, oh, Ed, you messed that all up, buddy. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about, you fool. Oh, my goodness. A fool he is. Oh, yep. Sometimes you feel like that. Everything's trying to fool you. That's right. Oh, I know. Somebody was trying to fool me. And it was about the Monopoly game and how the Monopoly guy never had a monocle. It's called, I don't know, some kind of a crazy effect. What's that thing? I can't know. I don't know. Daggone, I don't forgot. But anyway, it took me quite a bit of research in a while, but I did finally find some old Monopoly games where he does have a an eye monocle. That game changed hands so many times with so many different companies that they put all their spins on it and everything else. And I will tell you that for the high majority of it all, he didn't have no monocle. But Monopoly was supposed to be the big banker. He had on the big black top hat and all that kind of stuff. So he being the big banker and all, well, hey, they'd have a monocle. All them rich people, dressed all up in their fancy tuxedos with their top hats and monocles. Yep. So, and they said, oh, you got that confused with Mr. Peanut. He has a monocle. And I thought, well, hey, maybe there was a lawsuit and Peanut's won, and Mr. Peanut won, right? So they had to take the monocle away from Monopoly. I didn't know, but certainly there was one, because I've got pictures of it to prove it now. But they claim it never was. People have alternate memories because they've been in alternate realities, and I'm like, oh my goodness. My wife and me was talking about it, and of course they just here in the last election legalized marijuana. So, and all that's, oh man, I almost thought of it. But anyway, my son come up with all that stuff. So she's like, man, all these people we get smoking marijuana, and there'll be all kinds of stuff going on if they believe that. I don't know where it's all going to, buddy. I just know if you follow your Bible and try to be a good Christian and don't let the religious stuff get you down, that's what I do. I did for a while. There's one time I had some problems because it was like, it's the end of the world! No, it's not the end of the world. If you're on the right side, it's the end of it. There's nothing can be ended. And if it is, it can be all restarted again. You've got the ultimate power on your side. That's just how it works. But, yeah, the ultimate power is in the Lord Jehovah God in heaven. So that's where you want to focus your attention and get everything going your way. I pray a lot. I do. I try to remember when my brain starts getting into that mode. You know how a tune gets stuck in your head and stuff like that? I try to get the Lord's Prayer stuck in there and just let it repeat over and over and over again. And eventually, when I get my thoughts quieted down, I'll have an inner peace that you just can't imagine. Of just relaxing, enjoying myself. So, getting me some good old coffee and maybe some kind of a sweet. I got a sweet tooth once in a while, and I like to get some sweets, huh? Ah, he likes the sweets, he does. Yeah, he does. He likes delicious sweets, huh? I had some. I like coconut. I think one of my favorite candy bars are Almond Joy and Mounds. and I like them because they're chocolatey coconut. I also like, I like black licorice real well. I can eat that stuff till I fall over dead. I don't like any other kind of licorice really, but the black licorice is a favorite of mine. That might be because I was an old tobacco chewer at one time, and I used to cut through several packs a week of Red Horse, and I chewed Red Man and all kinds of stuff. I remember when I was driving a truck for the vending company, and the boss, he says, come around this truck. I want to show you something. It was like a new truck, you know. So I said, oh, okay. So I walk around the truck, and I'm standing there looking, and he says, you know, this is a company truck, and that is just disgusting. You can't be driving around the truck looking like that. And I looked, and I said, I don't know what you're talking about. He said, the whole side of the truck is splattered and covered in tobacco juice. I said, oh, yeah, that's because when I've been driving, I've been spitting out the window. He said, well, take this truck and wash it and then knock that off. And I said, all right. Yep, all right, Chuck. I did. Yeah, knocked it off after that. But that was mighty funny. I thought so anyway. But, yeah, you can learn stuff from people all the time. You know, there's some wisdom, and everybody's got some wisdom in there somewhere to teach you things that, you know, you might not be able to learn. That's one of the problems. People don't get that close wisdom anymore like they used to, I don't think. I mean, I got to be the wisest one around practically, that's not an easy task for me. But I have gotten people who can't seem to figure nothing out that's coming to me all the time saying, oh, I need help with this, I need help with that. And I'm like, hey, I don't know nothing about that. I said, you better just go look it up on YouTube. That'd be a good idea. Search YouTube and look it up, and then you'll be able to figure out just exactly what you got there. Oh, there's a truck with a dumpster on it. That's a good one to bust your windshield, have some junk fly out and hit you. That's what that is. But I'm getting off, so hopefully you don't get me before I get off the road with a big old stone to the windshield, right? I have a problem with that. Seems like trucks will do that to me. Boom, they'll get me. They will get me. Well, I don't know what's going on. There's big piles of yellow stuff on the road. I thought it was corn at first, but I'm not sure what it is. It might be some, I don't know. It's awful yellow, a dark golden yellow. It'd be nice if it was a big pile of gold. I could skip it up, take it to the bank, become a millionaire. Oh, that'd just bring me all kinds of trouble is all that would do. Here's $1 million. Oh my gosh, I'd have all kinds of stuff going on. Would I be able to handle it? No, I don't know. I certainly wouldn't mind trying to, but I expect I'd take a good generous portion and put it in a trust fund for a couple churches around here that seem to be helping people out when they need it all the time with donations and different things like that, and taking care of the community. So they could get a check every so often from it. At least that's how it's supposed to work, unless we invest with the criminals, you know, and then we'll lose everything, go broke, huh? You'll be broke, you'll have nothing, huh? And you like it. Bull crap. You can, well, don't get me started there, because I'll be, what's that song, losing your religion? I might be losing my religion if I get on that subject, so I better stay off of it. You know, there's certain people that, well, I just wish to God would put them down so they can't cause no more trouble. You want to cause trouble and everything? Let's just hope the good Lord in heaven takes and gives you exactly what you need and deserve. So we're all going to get it. I'm going to try to get deserving good things. That's what I want to do. And I'm not perfect. I've had my troubles. I always had something stupid. But about the time I'm ready to run over the cliff and it's going to be all over, the good Lord puts his hand down and says, that ain't happening. You ain't falling off that cliff, Mr. Ed. You got other tasks to do. So I keep getting these tasks. that I need to take care of that I didn't realize I had. So probably there's one that's really interesting. If I talk about that, I'm just about ready to be done. So maybe I shouldn't, but maybe I will since I'm into it. And if you listen to this all the way through, you'll understand. I told the good Lord Jehovah in heaven that I would serve him in any way that I could serve him, period. I mean, I want everlasting life. I want the good stuff. I want to meet Jesus and Moses and all those amazing characters from the Bible that once lived, people that lived on the earth. I consider myself to be a character, and most people I consider them to be characters, and some of them are good characters and some of them aren't so good. But I just wanted to do that, and I said I'd become a minister, but I'm not going to become a minister or nothing like that if I have to figure out how to beg for money, But you can spread the word, and I tried to do that with what I could learn with my family for the most part, because I figure, you want to save your family too, right? Yes, you want to get your family saved. So I started ministering what I knew from what I was reading and studying, and it seemed like things were being given to me. And I don't read, so chance of me reading the Bible is slim, because I just don't read. This book right here, which I have for safe passage and driving and everything in my car. And I figure if something happens, I'm going to go, I grab this real quick and I'll have something to read in my journey wherever I'm going at, because I'm not a reader, but I will watch videos and stuff like that. And that's pretty much what I did. Watched videos, and I learned stuff, and then I told my son about it, and then he started telling other people about it, and then we had like people that were atheists change their ways, and people that I was praying for in the family and stuff started going to church, and I started picking up the Bible and reading a few scriptures, and it's like, wow, this is amazing. So anyway, try to behave myself as much as I can, but I'm far from perfect. I tend to need to wash my mouth out with soap sometimes, and that's always something that has plagued me over the years, because I could get sometimes I can get a little testy, right? Yeah, so anyway, last time I did one of these videos, I ended up deleting it, and I didn't put it up, but I might put this one up. I will if I don't listen to it. If I start listening to it, I'll say, you're saying too many and ums, and it's just not, but it might be. Somebody might like to watch it. Say, ooh, you look more like Mo's friend Curly. Not Curly, but Larry on the Three Stooges. Every time I see you, you look more like Larry. The older model Larry, of course, not the young Larry. So, oh well, hey. Woo, 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 woo. That's one of my favorite shows. It always made me laugh as a kid and made me feel good. And it still does. I still get a kick out of them. I got to go on and find, there's Curly's grandson. He does some YouTube videos, and he used to pop up all the time, but then they all disappeared. So apparently the algorithm audience for that stuff through YouTube went, because I think YouTube is trying to clean out bots and stuff like that. So if you don't watch what you're doing, they'll get you. And that might be the case. I'm not sure if that's what happened or not. I'm getting warm. That sun's hitting on me. So I'll go in here. The dogs are going to come to the door. They're going to want to go out. I always enjoy them. That little pee-pee head, she's just a lovable thing. If you can't keep her off the furniture, but that's the way it is. She gets on the furniture and stuff, so we just have to clean up the hair, because she's a little shedder. She leaves hair everywhere she goes. She knows she ain't supposed to be up on the furniture, but does she listen? No, she don't listen. She's like the kids. They don't listen too good either a lot of times. So, but anyway, I got to go. Maybe I'll shoot something else if I got the energy, right? Say, I'll put up another video, man. Why not? I like to watch myself, and then I listen back to what I said and talked about, and sometimes I learn from myself. And sometimes I just don't make much sense at all. Just ramble. He's rambling on, I say. He's rambling on. So, yep, nice out here. Nice fresh air. Was it like 44 degrees, I think I said it was. I can sit here and relax for just a minute. It's all quiet. I mean, this is the life. Just sitting here taking her easy. Thinking about, oh, I got some trees I better trim. So that's going to be needing done. All right, well, let me sign off of here so I can get in the house and all that fun stuff. And we'll talk at you later. Hope you're having a great and wonderful day. And, well, a deep subject, eh? So, toodaloo.